Arms Channel, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Drake. We're back here at the reloading bench, and today we're taking a look at how to load up yourself some Shorty 10 gauge. This is going to be some great information for you guys looking to practice for the cheap or just make practice easier with your Mighty 10, and those of you who are very much interested in shot shell reloading. Let's take a look at what we've got. Now let's go over our components. We're going to need resized, decapped, recapped, and shortened 10 gauge hulls to 2 7/8 inch length. Now, you do not have to use resized hulls. You can buy primed full length or 2 7/8 inch hulls from Ballistic products or other retailers online and have them shipped to your door. I'm using all these because, well, I had a nice pile of 10 gauge hulls sitting in a box and I definitely wanted to put them to use. And a lot of them were not anything that I wanted to reload into Magnum shells, especially these Federal hulls, just due to some of the crimps not being ideal from the factory, as well as being dinged up from being shot in my Gold 10 that doesn't like these Federal hulls that much. So you're going to need a 2 7/8 inch hull. That should be pretty obvious. You're going to need some form of powder that is going to work for you. I've chosen Red Dot for this load. We're going to be throwing 22.7 grains of it today. I recommend that you start at 20 grains. An optimal 1 ounce 12 gauge load starts at about 19 and goes up to 20 grains for around a 1200 to a 1300 foot per second handicap load. Now, this in this shot shell is going to be pushing about 1250, going up to the 22.7 grains. 22 flat is a perfect grain weight for this powder in 10 gauge shorties. Again, you want to make sure you've got consistent throws and you want to make sure you're being careful when working up your load. This is my load. Don't take it for gospel. Work off of a manual or make good decisions based on your personal experience and your education in hand loading ammunition. The next component going in the shell is going to be a gas seal. This is going to help ensure that at the lower pressures this is going to operate at, we're going to get a good full complete burn and not experience any blow-by. And it's also going to stack the components high enough in the hull that we do get a true 2 7/8 inch roll crimped shell. We don't have to shorten it any further. This is the Ballistic Products X10X gas seal. It's pretty simple, it's bi-directional. There's not really much going on with it. Very cheap, come in a bag of $250, or I think you can get them in cases of 1,000. But not very expensive at all. I think it costs under $10 for 250 of them. Great component, really, really versatile if you take a look at the 10 gauge loading manuals. A must have. Next, we're going to drop in a PT1044 Shotshell Cup, and this has a power piston on it, and you might see that there is something down in the base of that. That is actually a Foam Filler Wad. It's a 12 gauge 0.700 inch filler wad, which I've cut in half to 0.350 inches. That is going to allow our 1 ounce charge to fill the shot cup and space correctly for the shell. So those filler wads are very much available. They come in bags of 1,000, and you get double bang for your buck when you're loading this 1 ounce load because you get to cut them in half and use one for every 2 shells. So very versatile, very affordable, and this PD1044 wad is extremely versatile with the loads that it can create in 3.5 inch Magnum as well as 2 7/8 inch 10 gauge shot shells. Finally, we're going to need a overshot card. You can use plastic discs or you can use paper. I've got paper 10 gauge overshot cards. You can also use 11 gauge overshot cards, but the 10 gauge is going to give you a nice consistent seal and roll crimp a little bit more effectively in my personal experience. I label them with the shot size on top, and then I circle the ounces of shot charge underneath. So number 7 shot with 1 ounce charge is what we're going to load today. And finally, pick yourself a nice lead shot. This is what was available at a local gun shop to me. This is just an American-made bag, 25-pound bag of number 7 shot. I paid about 50 bucks for this. This is a little expensive, but it's all I had available at the moment. But you can load any lead shot into this charge, and by adjusting this load and taking out the filler wad, you can also load up to 1.25 ounces of number 4s or number 7s if you want a heavier field load, which is actually more of a standard field load for the short 10. All right, so we're going to start off by resizing and decapping this Remington hull. Out of Federals, actually, so I'm going to take care of this one right now, but it's the same exact process no matter what 3.5-inch shell you're using. So first things first, I'm going to take this hull, and on the brass or tin, I'm going to take some Horty Unique case lube and I'm going to wipe that down. This is going to make it much easier to resize and make the pass much smoother. I really like the Unique lube. I use it for everything. One shot I think is better because it kind of acts as a cleaner and it evaporates off much quicker. But Unique is typically what I have. Plus you buy one of these. I've been working on this same tub of Unique for 4 years. And as you can see, I have plenty of it left. So buy 1 or 2 of these. You probably won't buy one again for a very, very long time. So we're going to put it in the decapping side here. All the way down, all the way up, and we're going to pull it out, and you're going to notice it's going to create a little bit of a ring, and it's going to shave some of that brass plating off the tin. That's okay. It's not going to harm the function of the hull. Now we're going to take our cutter, we're going to open it up. Now you guys can use a scissor. You can mark them out 2 7/8 inches. You can do the dowel trick where you take a razor blade and at 2 7/8 inches, after you've marked it, you just go around with the dowel and that'll help you make an even cut. But this one, we're going to do 2 passes to bring it down to 2 7/8 inch. I press it all the way in, I hold it, push it through, feel it bite through the hull. Now I'm going to press the hull into the device as well as hold its collet, and I'm going to twist. I've found that twisting half and then half and coming back the other way gives you a more even cut. And we're going to remove that first ring of plastic, and we're going to do it again to bring it down to 2 7/8 inches. Again, clasp, push in, and turn half the other way. You're going to hear it click as it cuts through. And look at that, we came out with a fairly even cut. There's a little bit of a ridge on that one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my razor blade and I'm just going to take that off just a little bit. And now I've got a fairly even shell. Next, we're going to take our 209 primer. The ones I'm using today are CCI shot shell primers, just a standard CCI 209. Not a really big deal, but come in a pack of 100. You typically can get them for between $3.99 and $5.99 a pack, depending upon where you shop. They purchase pretty well at around $35 per 1,000. So very, very nice shot shell primer and very cost effective as well. I'm going to set it in my press. We're going to send it down. And now we have a primed, ready to be loaded 2 7/8 inch shot shell hull. Now we're going to switch to the Federals and we're going to take a look at what we need to do. So we're going to take our now newly primed and resized as well as cut down hull, and we're going to put it into our powder throw. I'm going to come across here, I'm going to tap. Of course, if you're measuring out some other way, just make sure that your powder throw is accurate. I'm going to wait for it to be done, give it a couple taps, and there we go. Now what I like to do is, just because this is a shorter shell and to make sure everything lines up right, is I'm going to take my gas seal and my wad and place it in by hand. Should be pretty easy. It'll be a little bit of a tight fit. You might have to wiggle it around with the gas seal, but there it is. Next, we're going to take our shot cup. I've already prepped all these shot cups with the foam filler wad. You can use a cardboard, a fiber or cork, or any type of filler wad that is appropriate for shot shells, and you want to push it down all the way to the bottom. And for this load, a 0.350 inch of filler is going to be perfect in the PT1044 Shotshell Cup. We're going to drop that guy in, and we're not going to worry about compression yet. I'm just going to set him in there. Now we're ready to throw our shot charge. Now this is actually going to be a little bit funny. To throw my shot charge accurately, because I don't have a good powder bushing for my Mech Junior yet to be able to throw such a low shot charge, I'm actually going to use my 12 gauge Lee Loadall. I'm just using this for the shot throw charge. I've got the 1 ounce bushing in it. I'm going to set the shell on the bottom. You can notice that I have removed the wad guide, and I'm just going to run it all the way down. And of course, one-handed, this is going to be a little bit difficult. You get that powder thrown, move it over, pull it up, and it will drop it. And there we go, 1 ounce is a shot and a little shorty 10 gauge hull. Now that we've got all of our components stacked, we're going to take our overshot card and we're going to drop her down, labeling up into the hull. As we can see, this 2 7/8 inch is a little bit long, but that roll crimp is going to set down on top of that overshot card just fine. We're going to grab our drill. If you have a drill press equipped with your roll crimper, that's perfect. If you're using a hand drill, just be mindful you want to center it up and roll down slowly. So I'm going to start off by just spinning. And once I feel that significant amount of resistance, I'm going to look at my hull. I'm a little bit off, so I'm going to tilt to one side. And that's much more even. Give it a little bit of a shake. I've got good tension. I'm going to get one more spin. All right, that's much more even. And there we go. We have a loaded 1 ounce 10 gauge shorty shell. Well guys, just like that, I've got a fistful of short 1 ounce shorty 10 loads to go break clays all summer with, or kill some dubs in the fall if I just absolutely have to take out one of the beastly 10s to knock down some small game. You can't buy these on store shelves, so you will need all these components and you will need all of these tools to try and get these loaded up. But hey, it's a lot of fun to put it together, and it's a lot of fun to create something that you can't just go out and buy. There's a lot of satisfaction in using it. And I definitely am going to share some shooting video with you guys in the future of these little shorty shells. We got a lot more 10 gauge stuff coming down the pipeline and a lot more videos in general. So if you're interested in seeing more of that and you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscription and the notification bell to stay up to date on all things here at American Arms Channel going forward. Give that video a like and let me know your thoughts or any questions you have down in the comments below. As always guys, God bless, keep your powder dry. I'll see you in the next video.